maybe 2 weeks be a Saturday will peer barracks and I'm calling you.
But barracks used to be very fun. On set man honum said Ankasa where baby I'm a but on said you on said you to shop and me Socrane started them a call.
That's right.
I do it no upon no dear grow barracks kakra. Now corner heard your barracks in Kurani way. The whole Nastable,
Brass was your whole job, Papa.
Nastable force who won't pop. The Blue Friday, they Saturday, Romina, you could have bike. Phantom as you can maybe teach a ball. Oh, well, American Phantomas.
Someone near Bobo and his own.
That's one of the most popular parks in Kumasi.
Police Park.
Hey,
Bana kwano zanko oma grasso so ama o.
Na na say nyina me ko aduma ho na mpake we pake so bia na makai. Hey, every day.
Whoa, full house. Yeah, you be kona ye din komo na no pay.
Why hyper? We want to be here.
As what the can bahaba ba ye ne nyoma.
Why hyper too much? Not to me.
Imagine blogger of the year. Only or not to any no. Now this is more stories in the sofa.
Hey,
more stories in the pan.
What stories we bring?
Yes. As
at one story.
As at Friday, 7 p.m. Baby ana komiane nam. Course I want make it. Me want call logs Nina.
As of Friday around 4:30. So baby are now in a meeting.
Me na me friend catch.
Me dem so me blogger. Me
no, na me na me friend catch. But of our phone. Hello. I am a son. I need to learn something. What should I learn? Science, math, or law? Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Wait.
Young Kawai.
And the Facebook Live 7 p.m. Meko bia history. Me reveal secrets.
Run to me.
Yeah, Nancy new.
Na new dear no. Yeah. Moises Kai said the more contract maybe omo be silent say
I when yes kantina
na why are committed to the project. What's a long term contract? Break out.
I don't mean cuz you committed because what 1 year. There's some signing 8 to amortization.
I can't 7. So signing 6 + 2. Now friend I want to see April. You find April. Kashi. Only no kasi. Aye. See bibia yo.
Make you serious but me penny energy ne pa.
Blogger, imagine blogger of the year. Me go be a story say gumi same say you know.
Make you why serious pa.
What's a keke for so one? Menya kalebia ma wosie gumi ne wa kona kono minti bida oyo obapa oh, to them swear.
Me. Stop ready, come for question from my police inspector. Also, me down for no say me musa question be. Say age be na oju to mu say o ma me no papa na wo fa mo for so yi. Na do mu yesi bi omo ya de pa age be tambe na hu za de.
Omo ye dey.
O say there are certain times I want me to say Charlie, Mamma and Papa no more for Momoya day. Oh, Ejibella who realization. I don't know. What do you say?
So we SHS now when I know say no Sabra Bonana is to say yeah pray.
Yes, so bon crack on.
Oh bawenim. Abe pedi. New yeah go from Kumu yes I even. Che. I didn't message our machine I'm on the check pressure no. Opa focus here doom infinfio. Obi a trauma man fan in sanction hard here.
I can say maybe SS no me yan to aso no. Hopa let me who say.
Na fe make can was now say.
Yeah. No start to bomb my no papa bomb so say. Do we see bia no omo ye adwuma pa. Yo, sorry, so me pick baby and sape. I said all kind of full house. My first one no Lewandowski all free Barcelona no. Na near maybe or hold more I can. I used to say oh fwa boneso. But as I say a jitum say. I did be so a bonnet, but then a baba can't give no home a game near day. it is see na say ka how we see no a enye say how we see anasa ade ne see no open say ensi but ababa ye norm yankotro anye antum but ababa ka ho ekwan ya na strikers or certified legends every Barca and Madrid mama use 2 clubs we say fan cancel akwa ye bibi o ho a yaw so wan je antum a then you are not ready for the discussion of this game. Madrid and Barca. I say me can yaw me refi abom nkaye. And komo we be kwa timi Mo Salah ni Liverpool discussion also. But before that, me fa Jose also kakra. Madrid and Barcelona, every time a player has left, whether on a good note, on a bad note, whatever, yani entire discusses regardless of whatever the player did. You jitu say wa be my club no. But the kwe komboni so ya have fans in this. And have fans in this. But for Lewandowski, I enjoy something very special for a very long time. And who say Barca, I such thing. Ediama striker bioko. Once I'm limited to striker for no because any more for the yaw. Barca nyomo kwen ye kra. But have fans and so. Na ya na kwa say strategically. Almost also other some my coach be and be push wako. At that time so be push wako no. Also many striker from the Bible show home. It has always been the case. Romario, how he left.
Looking to level up your life and business game? Welcome to the #1 podcast for business and self-development, Connected Minds Podcast. Join our host, Derek Abaite, as he dives deep into strategies, insights, and real-life stories that will help you make smarter choices for a happier, more successful life. Don't miss out. Stay connected with us. Tune in to the Connected Minds Podcast, where growth begins with a great conversation. Available now on all major platforms.
You can leave. So when you saw back, we will negotiate your way out. I'm the same thing as Samuel Eto'o. I'm catching Samuel Eto'o say, Pep Guardiola, the coach. Now, my card there. Only say Suarez then there. About Monte Crabbe kind. And then me busa AI said, how did Luis Suarez leave Barcelona? And I say through the 40-second call. Sana AI catch me. Okay, so 40-second call.
Me Kaiser me yes our story no cry. Shouldn't be one man and lasting accommodating things. You go straight to the point.
It's later na Suarez be free Barcelona no. Not be pass sympathy of fans and say me na Rakuma friend I catch him say you are not needed in this club anymore. On your relevance and to find a way precisely no bad find a crime before so be free club in Mako. And this is the message I have for you. Correct. 40 seconds. Me legend. Me na come no money you know no take Falcon ko. Na club na kote na Komanchi another legend to deal with Suarez. Suarez in him say okopat sympathy akoka call no say offer me phone so can you know the to so just a fans na could come at them but the fans nobody responded. Say say no catch road any call. Say no catch road any Suarez yati. Oni nyamenko. Samuel Eto'o mo catch and say coach no say opese o change the attacking dynamics of a new pattern. Attacking dynamics be na Samuel Eto'o M50. Dynamics be waje trouble na anu yai. But it was a political dynamics to push Messi in the number 9. Because Eto'o knew everything in the house. Ibrahimovic did not play for Barca a dream. No him the Ekoso. But the Ekoso is politically they wanted a figure or by then the holding the body no Obama Messi explode. Eto'o wasn't ready for that. Then he left. Ronaldo Firmino. Ni renewal no. Omo dia no aka some people no obesan you no catch on so your friend on national team to okokam. Omo man san kalete no onsa. Ronaldo Firmino. But originally how the club bought Firmino no. That's why you know how he was let go. Oko Brazil now no started so we didn't come for no friend catch and say, "Oh, now we are very important." But I say very nephew, we are important. adeɛ bɛkye ne nyambo ɔkyerɛ sɛ wonim sɛ times wɔ adeɛ ma no sɛ wɔn sane a adeɛ kye aba bɛyɛ on just another player important ne be free o adeɛ kye anom ka kyerɛ sɛ you are no more important for Barca and start sɛ odi nkɔmɔ akɔ Inter Milan so no so pɛ kwan bɛfa so bɛ revenge Barca for no ɔwɔ Inter ne nyinaa no pɛ kwan bɛfa so bɛ revenge Barca for no ɛna Madrid ɛbaayɛ ne season back boy in 47 games or shall goes no bro game number of matches no boy but they told him say relevance no so ati and some American yes I can papa so be treaty on legends say yo but yo ababeka ho na me say me de kwa kosi salad ye no so Ronaldinho enim say wa Barberry Juvenile Barca Renaissance ya check Renaissance ni mini mame why Ronaldinho no say or the great Renaissance aba Barcelona it in a statue crowd ni kwasa kokwa ansa na ka ya build the so but amoko tete coach fufurochi Frank Rijkaard or then baba ma Ronaldinho oni say we kina ne sa baby o asa call lift Barca dia ba on the table elite league no money the Barca bury into case ke gigi no so
Renaissance just simply as a revival and as a rebirth. As a be a would so pen on a from now or sang a pursue who be
because in the mid 90s, you know, this Barcelona can build the dream team under Johan Cruyff. They did everything he wanted the football club to do. And I must say, do me, and I go to the club on the bar back. But how do they deal with Ronaldinho? Yeah. It is so compare sanima we nyina na the Messi de na sabe siso na hwe Lewandowski kwa mo fa so gya no kwan no a I can be very honest with you say Lewandowski mo gya no kwan fe so pa na ni ma de Lewandowski no so ya de boa no ho pa ade Lewandowski ye ne say but ya ne ka say abotre de e ya de nyina wonim how Lewandowski survive the status here and you enjoy. Yeah. What is status now enjoying? Also, I'm Bob Legends. I hold the actual. Obia, I'm fan of but another player about yes, I only to from son of my Yomokesi, you know. But Lewandowski has been different. You know how he survived. In maybe Poland, in Argentina, and there was a scenario 50-50. On Messi, no, I'm a catcher. Say what time and come on here.
If you say we can't find the actual Messi.
Some moment, you know, so intense. Now me compare intense few seconds. I would tell us football more. It is said here, Romario, na Oster, Roberto Baggio, US 94, Brazil, Italy, free time on Mubano. Now Romario need to or Shebaggio. Or Shebaggio, na camera na fan. Once camera na fan, no watch it as a bleno. What was or Panasamo also Jano, I don't know, but or Steno Lewandowski Messi moment, you know. It was so tense. But Lewandowski never saw honor or kill it or no, send the personality, whatever. No, so then inside a tap Messi or Bo Messi. After that, you know, so Messi training as a whole.
Yeah.
Let me see Panasam.
My email sent you for some free.
Hey,
Messi can Jana so.
Lewandowski, can one know. Only so only Penimu and Yasema would dip, but to my catcher as a corner copanicho.
Yeah.
Lewandowski said the people brush over Messi. Varane, Casemiro, Essien, when you show Messi. But Lewandowski Pierre Messi no. Messi bufui. And I was a share Lewandowski bio. Lewandowski channel Gene. Still no John Masad in Sana Cano. Meaning say, me knew Niasamo, mean to me no because I feel no fear ho, make ho. Now, bow if you know, Nipasani Benya, the leader of the new generation. La Meyama. Okay, or me lose issue.
When you're born on passe.
So between Messi, La Meyama, Nelson Lewandowski,
to me,
or Rishepuni Hui, now Bassa France and Ejiritum. He's not a Spanish on your typical European crowd, on your typical European. He may be a Poland one. But o make sure say obe man status no so visible to the fans of Barcelona. And on so we see celebrating for Mr. who say Barca legend you couldn't move no say including even Messi. Lewandowski o deserve. Jose Mourinho ba. Meko But because of Lewandowski's story, into my fan can't Mo Salah the ornamenting flow. Mo Salah were very selfish. Oh, were very, very selfish. Mo Salah were very selfish. Look, we were here. Club built an empire. Empire one building from or building them a certain attacking trio. For me, they were very important to that system. Now, man, you say very important. But it Drew Brown no munya 1-2-1-2 no. For me, in one way or the other, or me no age akoja. And now that's what club no. Club na back in everything. In everything. My Chelsea phone bio man ko Mo Salah a failure. Let's see as more be catch liver Chelsea fans no. They are back. I'm back nyina so. I do time sese wo ko. Wo don sa ko so futuro mu wa futuro e di go achi. Oh, your coach na your club no. So Shadrach Kumbenya na letter no.
Many statements no.
From I highlighted few angles of the letter and why this guy is wicked. The club na yamani nyina no or South to what the ones na ho bufuo on the mechano or the brinu crow asem fan ho. No way should you go that angle. South person your coach no, you are highlighting the style of play.
And you dig at coach no more.
Run to me.
Remember who's Asimbiya. Well, what is a club now to go from doubters to believers and from believers to champions? Solid. It took hard work and I always did everything I could. And young Kwana, just a selfish mentality. And I always Liverpool built a ginger press style of play where everybody had to press. Now pressiana. But was centered the statement on himself. Let's go, y'all. And I always did everything I could to help the club get there. Nothing makes me prouder than that. As scrambling to yet another defeat, this season was very painful and not what our fans deserve. Or fans political guy. Or fans I want to see Liverpool go back to being the heavy metal attacking team that opponents fear and back to being a team that wins trophies. This is the football I know how to play. Once if I've heard in each one, on also can say we say me who say club on the court trophy lesson na me di yaw na me say on the sala keke or twi fans rebam or my fans who say the modwene no mo yaw no me nim na edi. But how or executing the message is so erroneous. That is a football I know how to play. That is the identity that needs to be recovered and kept for good. It cannot be negotiable. And everyone that joins this club should adapt to it. Weigh a punch to an slot. That is the football I know how to play. And that is the identity. It is just identity, no one touch man. Or can a slot once. Winning some games here. And there is not what Liverpool should be about. All teams win games. Oh no. The opposite actually. Tot. Liverpool winning games. Tot. Sadia any teams can get win one, lose one, buy one, get one free. And no can once. Liverpool will always be a club. That means a great deal to me and my family. I want to see it succeed to a long after I've moved on. Listen, this is selfish mentality. And someone can be Liverpool belongs to the top and all of that boom. But I bring into what you say, boys now watching no more like you know, you do for no wasem. No way. I don't know more konomanka. Dear wakai. If some more like a message no. Besides, to talk of identity, the possession footballer Pep Guardiola man Barca enjoy a winning neutrals. A man Barca club I'm going to compare only Arrigo Sacchi club side AC Milano. Anybody Hansi Flick able? And the fans don't enjoy Hansi Flick. And nobody has a flakeable. Samba football, a game of beauty. And then samba for now, a coach, you're making no Catanaccio, Italian manager, and a Makako Fanaba.
Yes.
Isn't that so contrasting? Coach of Italian game of Catanaccio, and your Sombra, a sharp contrast to football ideology, Omra Brazil, because they know, say, the classical number 10 is gone out of their game, and they are still waiting for Neymar. Number 10 year game now Brazil you see their friend second striker in Cunha. oni number 10 bi oya into oni se keche na akodi Anthony mo ho ontimi fa Anthony mo nko World Cup. They don't have those players. And Tenya Ancelotti, bra now your boys na akodi Europe no. Europe the ho na wo free ba. Bra never revive a game from my. They have dumped that Seleção identity for now. So Mo Salah said, "Judging pressing no, any honor until Liverpool to me winning. And what is identity no? E baba punch and slaughter na. No, yo, where sir issues no? And I person doors Liverpool.
Well, Meda Emperor say someone wants to tell us plainly that an astronaut is not good. We will see in the coming seasons whether it's true or not, but he can't claim that he only did all the work. And no, any day. And when so Jeremiah say, how is this selfishness? A legend like Mo Salah expressing his feelings. And we say, I agree with Newton on the Salah thing. When Klopp was leaving, this same player had a dig at Klopp in his write-up. Let's say, Salah Klopp, Sani Wumi and Susanya, on a Klopp Nabi. How about we changing an out to Tottenham's our bench on Nina by Mikaisa Renepa.
Ronaldo move free Madrid na nyo makuma mu. Ramos free Madrid no enye na kuma mu. But how often adia Ramos so ye fa ne back no person ba na ho a wanti me back nyina ye o she go Mexico ha okoye say o ka say Ramos ko ye phone call signal bi okoye say mu betun afre no mu ni number bi. That is the best you can do. But say ura mu e ka say wo search you are done. Look. Spain, it's in a Spain, no, they always think it is about the club first. It is about the club first. So say no, yeah, the member issue about me say your players in the back Salah. Be so back coach.
Oh yeah, say Muache because Muache more now former players and the current players may be more like any other now. Professor J was say the boys didn't say it because they are cowards. The reason why they came to like his comment now in the post. Okay, new. Me that say.
Just say the end answer for
some more time. Yes. Me that say new Bray. Meza.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Me enchant for you. In 2004, Abra Chelsea appointed Jose Mourinho, say on head coach. About press conference or because or the special one, it raised a lot of eyebrows or media men are not now even the public about who this man was. Definitely, Jose Mourinho entered the scene and was recognized by the results with FC Porto in back-to-back seasons. But everyone got to know about Jose Mourinho through the character and who he is at the point in time, equivalent to the kind of results na onya. Na epimun tenase. Me personally, Ankasa, Jose Mourinho, there were certain times I question myself. Na me busa me say, hey, na chairman we bibia oni de so da bia oni trimu like or acting weird. Bibia ma ase on tenase bisa. Until I think there was a book written by Joe Nato about Mourinho, the true story. Then I got a bit of it and read a bit of it. And I met Jose Mourinho say more with nipa by nisu. Any DMT amasisi ameti. But one regime said the next 2 years it could be a revolutionary period for Real Madrid in terms of an appointment as a Real Madrid manager. Yeah. Papa way about Real Madrid. There were certain things he did that is written in the book. I think John to Chemube 3. One, he spoke about this conflict within the squad. Number 2, Okasa about the internal drama in the dressing room of Real Madrid. Another one, Okasa about how Real Madrid politics in terms of one's almost socials here to Abania the other.
Bigo Cola is changing the game and giving away free cash. Introducing the Bigo Scan and Win promo. Your chance to enjoy great taste and win instant cash every day. Just buy a bottle of Bigo Cola, locate the QR code on the label, scan with your smartphone, watch the video and enter your details and stand a chance to win instant cash. No waiting, no stress, just real rewards instantly. From everyday refreshment to unexpected rewards, Bigo Cola is more than a drink. It's an experience. So what are you waiting for? Grab your Bigo Cola today, scan the code and win big.
Bigo, big on taste, refresh your vibes.
This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply.
Omuko Spanish internationals
to me.
Yeah, Omusi Akindema FC Barcelona, which transcended into their national team where they felt to say there be. As a woman, had the loyalists, same side, so no, or the kum yen temu emriado, it any quasi a penimani yes hadian. So he had issues with Casillas, he had issues with Sergio Ramos. Because Sergio Ramos became somebody do maybe not on Pedro's anymore because not loyal to him, but do not done. Also, be selection area no. No obia free baby the about team said there be selection area why ye dear. Nipa no internally political man. Our team no achiro bema yefa way more. He needed to stand his grounds and make decisions for the club and say that no. Mimi si me say ya obia ntimi stop it. Media for no say yeah ani apre de akwakotum. Also on the clubs are why adwuma nyina the media level of media scrutiny all Real Madrid no bro baby
True.
and the slightest thing you have issues to deal with. You see, in the moment of circumstances and problems, the quality of a great leader is shown. It's in a Real Madrid a push for Jose Mourinho this time being. Because a new more facing us at that time with internal drama from players are no more dressing room, superstars. Then you come to players, some Spanish players, they were trying to create issues for him. I'm not saying that we can see as Scotland Chenamadi go Lopez more. Or try Sergio Ramos say, "Oh, crowd try ye sepepe na me ni free krumba and crown no me piano to chain." I'm a only Rafa Varane nebo ka also come you to chain. Or stabilize it. Or the club na compete. I'm a club no etimi ebenya foundation and then the twaso in the following years the club was able to achieve something. So Real Madrid looks at the current crop of players and the dressing room they have. Now, is there an internal drama or not? There is an internal drama. Beboa. Politics have been to a certain extent say nay. We come in Kojina press conference dim komoka said there be unua dwuma or ye ne de. Konkon chen no so mede. E maybe there is proper one. But this time around, they don't have enough Spanish players within the setup. But definitely, egos which you need to come and deal with. It's yao. This is the right appointment at the right time. I'm not saying it's oh no, and Champions League 10 Yama Real Madrid. But they need a certain stability. And Omo Pobi Obetimia channel the inner problems against opponents rather than Omo Real Madrid Nankas or Moamo. Yeah, it is difficult. Say. How do you make them understand? Saying, "Tokona moko or demoni nyinani blow na mototo no." Any kwansa moko o mo fanko opponent ne so. Iti ne bebo game wo se pepe huri no de na tia obi pepe onkotia ne teammate. Dem mum omo nyina ebo game na they know say omo opponent no eye nipa o wonche. I remember there was a fight at the training grounds. Real Madrid. Abba story atwam that the Tamana Jose war. I think it was between Kedira and Obia. Sergio Ramos came in. Sergio Ramos bad on his other said they've been talking and in term was a match na a cocoa no confusion was said the but this is the pros that we are talking about. But the cons comes into respect to what Real Madrid wants to do in the transfer market. Because squad where here certain positions be to rebuild, especially in the middle of the park where they need the right balance. Oh, check your left back on no an enhancement. I know Avero Carreras is doing well, but fellow man the injury situations actually say omuhiya reinforcement. Oh, check your bit is a Frangas at that level. Yeah, money monoba won't say and see in family CP famano. But with the list be a Shadrach in terms of the signings I do see Mourinho bar Real Madrid or Moye. One money hit, one money misses. Then you draw a proper conclusion as to say, just say Bano. A woman say internal drama and a lot of things can be doing well. But I think when it comes to the transfer market, I want to look at how Jose Mourinho will be able to do things. Because yeah, Oba and Okofa Nurisha in the nearby. Oba Okofa the likes of Sami Kedira the nearby. Okofa Emmanuel Adebayo the neighbor on loan. Okofa Michael Essien the neighbor on loan. So this is the list. There was Mesut Ozil. There was Angel Di Maria. There was Sami Khedira. There was Ricardo Carvalho, Pedro Leon, Sergio Canales, Nuri Sahin, Hamed Altintop, Jose Callejon, Luka Modric, Emmanuel Adebayo, Rafael Varane, Fabio Contrao, Diego Lopez, Michael Essien. Now, her list we mudi one hit and misses. Mesut Ozil hit. Real Madrid. Angel Di Maria hit. Meboa, Real Madrid. Sami Khedira hit. Real Madrid. Ricardo Carvalho, no. Pedro Leon, cool. Sergio Canales, cool. Nuri Sahin, Anfa. Hamed Altintop, Anfa. Jose Callejon, Anfa. Luka Modric, after say on New Jose Nukrako, and a befa. And Ubeka, the first season, I brought Real Madrid supporters, you grew on a catcher almost say Luka Modric will come good.
Yeah.
And then Luka Modric is a better Ballon d'Or. Emmanuel Adebayo, Anfa. Rafael Varane, quality. Fabio Contrao, quality for squad depth. Diego Lopez, FI bar. Michael Essien, Anfasa. So, oral list here, that one more. And move 6 or 7 there. Yeah, let me say mobile and your mind to me and shut down fan more. So, if Real Madrid are looking at Jose Mourinho, now they are not only looking at internal rebuilding structure in terms of more confidence going into games and a lot of things. Yeah, outside in terms of signings, there is a need to look at a lot of things because Jose Mourinho buy and just signing be obey ye be an ayaw a blue sum ye the Real Madrid a be on ma ne tebe a be car at the Real Madrid, and they need to look at that. They really need to look at that. It brings a certain aura around the team. When Jose Mourinho comes to a team, play a bepa na pena Jose Casa or town for na friendly nedin komo so omro no so ntini Casa oma. You will get a lot of players that you want. But you see, a damn football as bebre who say I didn't do na ye na bonsa madwuma. E quite fast or a timid player we could this is ni agent no way Mendes. So Jose Mourinho by Real Madrid, the pros are there, but the cons are there. So more when ya Oye Mendes bit ma ko tam player bi kura dia best so mo dia be hye mo kon ma mo beje. Enche bia na Chelsea ani abreso mo Enzo Fernandez. Ni Paul Begina FIFA nye Enzo Fernandez ni agent nye Oye Mendes o. Ni agent ye former Paris Saint-Germain player Javier Pastore.
Yes.
Now enkomodi ni mu yire ya be kai e yire ya ma. They needed somebody who knew the Portuguese terrain to come into the mix. And Oye Mendes buy. Oye Mendes making sure said do ni be query na Chelsea assigning João Felix. And Chelsea nya ka João Felix no command dey.
Yes.
But I don't say ko tun aduane. It was all day. So the pros and cons are there. And I think Florentino Perez at this time is also desperate for resource. When you are Oye Mendes the jabber two team we move. And you just send a bonus so. The mum mobile sign players be my bedroom be exchange be bam. One young be some mo question say the player will pay nya sumes ya ko si akande Real Madrid. These are things they will need to be looking at. But at the end of the day, it is Real Madrid. If results will come, I don't think anybody will care about who comes in on the bench or not. And that is the most important aspect. Don't expect tactical. Your man could take tactical. Say na do say 4-5. He knows his tactics. He knows who he is. But the main issue at Real Madrid could find by is the internal drama that is going on at Real Madrid. He has seen it before. He has been there before. He has dealt with it. And he's there to do it again. Xabi Alonso by Chelsea. Now, and they would tag now and your coach be a manager. Meaning Xabi Alonso is about to manage the club in different ways. And then at the end of the tactics in Kwa. But I think he's going to have a say in a lot of things that goes on in the club. Now, you look at the coaching career and baby of FIBA. Eba endorsement. And when name Xabi Alonso endorsement? Proper endorsement. Even Jose Mourinho, when he was asked a player ben coaching who is so opiebo betima be adwuma na ye ne ye. Okache say Xabi Alonso. E betima ye adwuma na. Ye gina ye ni nitwia. No, let nobody underrate whatever they achieved by Leverkusen. Derby. Yo, it was marvelous. How do you go a whole season without a single defeat? Even by American on the club, and how many times watch league now are undefeated? Or the one when Jeremy Frimpong, Florent Vet, Victor Boniface, Jonathan Tamon, or your match TV, so let's not underrate it like I say, Adibia, and you be Papa Bia. Then the strength at Real Madrid. I've seen people who talk, okay, and I wait on Nadia, and I will call Real Madrid, need their issues, baby, there be issue near so only team now in your preseason. What say Florentino Perez not only a president, no? Did he know his team? No. When you don't know your team, there is a need for you to do a lot of experiment. So I didn't know Xabi Alonso or Real Madrid. He was doing preseason within the season. Now, it's not know about 3 back or channel about 4 back. And they bet you know about say because he needed to know. You see, there is a difference between knowing players and knowing who your player is. Yeah, ubetime when you say Mbappe ni, but say the Mbappe tie pa say Mbappe tie say ya just obey no. We want say Vinicius di ni, but say you want say Vinicius ni pa just obey no. So he goes to Real Madrid and there's that thing that he needed to do. So with Chelsea, now he comes in, there's a preseason for him. Now these are owners that will buy for him. Yeah. Me confirm me very happy about it. Say I was say Enzo Kodo to do anyone I said omo den ya me ase because Xabi Alonso na be coach omo.
Say now oye midfield and
the brilliance he will bring to on board obe offer omo no because these guys are young. They are young. One Andre to be no about Liverpool is say. And I think no more guy be so Argentina be Palacios will say. Look at how these guys hold it fort down. So there are a lot of things Caicedo and Enzo will need to add to their game. The best person to get it out of it because Chelsea new project and Todd Bolly. Open conform you know and Amiensa. Ube you almost say Omuna be the face of the project and Abeka Kopama. No ka Enzo Fernandez, no ka Caicedo. Because me no see kana yede conform mobile anyhow Chelsea fighting for these players. You know. Everything shows. Then there's Kopama. Our in the first season he was splendid. So Alonso, you need a coach that will come in, not only say bringing the best out of Nketinketine, but the face of the club in terms of these key players, lift your more. And Xabi Alonso comes in with that experience. He will earn so much respect in that dressing room. But maybe issue near say, Xabi Alonso bano nyoma enkoye every day. We are Chelsea fan at me. He will lose games because one particular coach he loves to take risk. There are certain games or pressure me boys in the chairman we game no lose be 3-0. Kwakuma to yem. Or best Sanyoma. Let's not be in a rush like to say about 4 games, 5 games, and Xabi Alonso. There be utim net that one to saying. You see, let's not lie to ourselves. Utim net that one getting someone Ghana to move. There are few players within the setup. Let's be honest with the Chelsea fans. There are few players within the setup. Omukuta a status or bet me elevate club. Now Robert Sanchez kwa question mark on home. But bit say Marco Kurela. No I bit say Reece James. No I bit say Levi Correll. Super player. Fantastic. The future. Said your City football line breaking passes or Muni City or ball pass be managed 2 lines. Quality. Enzo, Caicedo. So the spine of the team no order. But getting interested team na drew.
Okay.
The lamp money where money the Johnson and more life now no mobile or no be ping no the yellow card. Munya botre. This is an Alonso who is tactically versatile. I'm not doing PR for him, but how can somebody win the league unbeaten, go to Real Madrid, come to Chelsea and come and tell us, say, Obefeli? Just say, but I think Todd Bolly, Egbali, the first step purchase from Master manager. The next thing, support him in the transfer market. Okay. And I think Chelsea will bounce back. They will compete and they will be there.
Mate, Mezameda say, Maun say, or Masha say, crowd more so motode bane or more so mokono. I'm say, why also could be a unimo, Sana Adina Quaque, or Dobe could be an home, Meza. My Udiano Crassa, Dobe could be away, one try me and control. Mike,
I don't know, Power Yakumia with the say, and your brain on counting at Chelsea, Alonso, Obia small. Catch will be a smile, but that's on the lighter side. This year, no ball coach, I know what said there or when a playing career.
Chelsea for the
debut. Of course, you know why. Of course,
nobody did Xabi Alonso.
Oh, yeah, then.
Oh, say what it's here.
Oje Walker. Oje Heroes.
2010
Oje Champions League. Oje La Liga. Oje Bundesliga. Oh, okay, fine, no problem. But coach near here. Okay, oh yeah, then.
Oh, Michael Carrick, multiple Premier League winners.
Okay, Cabra.
Multiple Premier League winners.
Aura for aura. Aura for aura.
Omano no.
Two left. Yeah, two left.
Is it after almost say qualify Champions League?
Bow coach.
Okay.
Bow coach. O coach actually league unbeaten da. Maybe sao o coach watching league unbeaten da. Aura for aura. Nobody among China season anymore. Yeah, but I am. First, on a more serious note, I like it when solutions are found in football, when challenges or problems or however we choose to term it appear. When clubs find solutions, among baby steps or more take it towards greatness. So you must recognize such solutions now, Bano, and then you must praise them for it. And the lens never focus on Manchester United. In the summer, United made certain additions. It raised a lot of eyebrows. Okay, Omu make 3 additions to the attack. Matheus Cunha, Benjamin Sesko, Brian Mbeumo. These were players who were added to the team. Bana man for Adrenko. So yenfa numbers in din komo kakra. Shadrach Emame, Manchester United, omu Premier League goals or match after every season since Alex Ferguson left. Now, so projected to swap, you will see, say, last season is the lowest they have recorded since Ferguson left. Omu share 44 goals. There was an issue that needed addressing, and they had committed money to securing players via no money do almost so mbe pejoma attack no but anko ye bakon as Joshua Zexi. So United needed to find a way out. And in finding the way out, you were quite almost fast with the address here and the strategy. Why would I be devise a strategy? And oftentimes, you didn't come out and a coach, But there are certain figures behind the coach who plan the football strategy and most importantly, the direction of a football club from the technical or the sporting point of view. Mayu first in into the early years post Ferguson, it was a certain Ed Woodward and a maneuver or thinker he was operating in that role. But in the background and in the expertise was mostly about finances. So if you take an alien from alien to football, and you take him from a strictly financial background, not never be shewa, and that's the only expertise, United will make a lot of mistakes. But once again, they realize.
You think you know Gary? Think again. We are taking your favorite snack to a whole new level. Introducing Kivo Gary 4-in-1 Strawberry.
More Kivo inside, more joy for you. More Kivo is
crispy with real strawberry crunchies inside.
Kivo has got you. A taste of Ghana
with strawberry crunchies inside.
More joy for you.
This advert is FDA approved.
Is by far one of the best decisions United have taken post Sir Alex Ferguson. Wow. They did not get it right from the onset because Danash was Badja Hokoi. But I think eventually Omar Berada as the CEO who will oversee the day-to-day operations, the business side and the football operations. When Ed Woodward ain't to minion ye. He could only oversee the business operations, but he was failing in terms of the football operations. So Afaba Kofa Babaku Nyejuma. And I spoke about expertise, the know-how. When you know-how, because he had been part of a successful model, not at one, but 2 important clubs, Barcelona, Manchester City. He had experience and then he had a skill set. And then he's not exposed to any new things because then he brought on board Jason Wilcox, who is important for making the main football and the sporting strategy figure. Was a maker strategy. And the Sadia or more baby say Jumano strategy ben quite ban planning yes squad no. And then he will work together with Christopher Vivell, previously of Red Bull and Chelsea. on director of recruitment. So these three, my main beggy a tier for name from the three wise men of Manchester United. These three are normal planning squad, no, and the strategy was attack. But Mpempi, Yakofa players from outside the Premier League, the bar, they struggle to adapt. So the strategy this time should be top performing Premier League players are still or more room to grow. Into check it. Previously, United went for Rasmus Højlund. No one saw a potential with P. Oh, or a big, you find a ball befa, or buy an intimate. Way, Joshua Zexi. Bologna, excellent season. Oh, potential young or befa or buy and he did not adapt. So this time around, okay, let's still go for potential in Benjamin Sesko. Young, he's not exposed to the Premier League, but let's play him together with top performing Premier League attackers. So the only thing United had to do was to study the best performing attackers in the Premier League last season. In Brimo, Brentford double figures. Matheus Cunha, all those Wolves no more battle relegation,
figures,
but his numbers were impressive. Sadia, these are players who excelled individually for clubs. In this rosa, but for Mumbra because we think they have a higher ceiling. God being so good. United, the three attackers producing double figures for them in terms of Premier League goals this season. Sesko 11, Mbeumo 10, Cunha 10. Now, when United made this presentation, true, we made mockery of these three players. Timberland boot near the Ashomo. But now the results is demonstrating, say, the strategy, the planning has yielded dividends.
There's also more ball a year so Ratcliffe because Cliff Babbe J is that sporting 25%. No, these are structures we buy.
Exactly.
Wow.
So it means it gives. You said they are koto da no kase obere kra yendine chini. Until now, if they make this investment, now the home fast what they are. What happens next? They move to another position. Again, this season, they used the stone to kill two birds. They did not just address the attack, but they also addressed the goalkeeping department. Remember? Now, Oko Premier League anymore. There were 20 teams. Manchester United are the only team when you more than two players or mama double figures in terms of goals. Not even Arsenal or Yaji League, not even City or you're in contention for the league title. What should they tell you? They are creating a collective that is dangerous enough. And that screen is on.
Okay, so players with 10 or more goals for the club.
Good.
Premier League 2025-2026.
Yes.
So Shemwa the Aston Villa and all Watkins, Rogers. Number 2.
Bournemouth.
More than 10 goals.
Yeah.
Or 10 or more.
Yeah.
Bournemouth, Junior Krupi, Anna Semenyo.
Yeah.
2. One about United and Kwane was 3.
Exactly.
Sesko, Cunha, Mbeumo.
Exactly.
Wow.
So United's attack have been transformative enough. And a major reason Manchester United qualify for the Champions League. It is the major reason. There are other factors that helped. But attack will always carry the team. Into check on defense, ni goals considered now. And more their last season but in terms of goals scored, from 44 to the number they have generated this season, it should tell you that there has been massive improvement. Again, the same strategy, the structure, and Momokofa sending Lawman said in the buy. Another time, I will give you vivid or specific numbers about Senny Lawrence and how he has transformed the Man United goalkeeping department. But and then yemfa eye test and fankasa. On the eye test, Senny Lawrence at the improvement about Man United goalkeeping him. So what should they tell you? I was say a would GDA say if United need to address a midfielder, the same structure that brought these players, you should be positive. So then they will be able to find the right personnel to address the midfield issues. I want Man U team name. So United now looks like a club that is taking the right decisions, and we can only wish them well. The decision to stay with Carrick on Twasono, Me personally, I don't agree. Some Akajo say I don't want him to continue because roles here different.
Yes.
But the more sensible approach now, judging the realistic circumstances they find themselves in. One, Man United, the Omuhias is saying, an elite manager who will transform their mentality or their mindset. Baby Omo, they are winning matches, but they need to transform the mentality from winning matches to winning trophies. Elite managers no Wontumi as Adian. But tell me the elite manager who is available.
Well, by this time,
Enrique Woho, but he's not available.
Why stand the crowd?
Exactly the point. And the more sensible option will be the Yanena Tnano. Oye Jumano. In as much as he's not ideally coach Anki Yehiano. Yemfan into a Jumano. So with the structure that we have, already he has knowledge of the club and then he understands the club. That is less risky than say Wokofa Irayola bi and now Oliver Glasner be a bar. Oh, yeah, they were Palace, or yeah, they were Bournemouth. But entirely, the environment is very different from the Manchester United one. In Irayola Bebano, I think when a major culture shock, a bit to Ruben Amorim. Amorim was doing extremely well with Sporting City.
Yeah.
But by United, the situation changed. So why not stick with Carrick rather than go for a riskier option in a manager who might not fit in? And that is one. Away from there, Liverpool, a kind of a snail, so on the way as snails are moving, they are slow, but eventually they get to their destination. At times, patience, it helps you to understand situations better. Say chaos, a cause, they cause, Mompam coach, on your lose matches, and then you rush to take a decision. It might backfire. A case in reference, Chelsea. Maresca, Moon Crenimo, Yanshed engineering deal, Massa, Jumana, when Maresca left and Chelsea amid the chaos, trusted in their project more than believing in the coach and went for Liam Rosinia. They were exposed badly. And it's one of the big time decisions did Chelsea this season. So I understand the approach of Liverpool. Maybe they will bite. Yes, maybe they will bite. But it is good to observe with patience. Never dust and then settle. Then review the situation extensively. Dear to Liverpool, I don't think it is merely a coaching problem.
So, coach
it is not necessarily. I said, any coaching. Application to is a problem.
Van
Dijk at a point in time was shouting at his teammates and said, Van Dijk Kroyano, he is a culprit in the same thing. This season has been one of the worst seasons I've seen from Van Dijk ever since we're joining Liverpool. A lot of Liverpool players are near OGDA say they are the main guys. They have had a very horrible form. No team will survive when more main players, more form Ateko, Salah off, Alisson injury, he's been off, Van Dijk, he's been off, Konate, he's been off. Tell me, Team Benebet are thriving in this situation. So the Liverpool issue is more of a conundrum. Wontumi found sense you one point to say, a coach nintin or Wontumi mobile ni. And that is why many Newton when he speaks to Salah's issue. Salah's a tirade, whatever thing he posted was fueled by emotions and not necessarily common sense. Matinka minya. Megidi say was a heavy metal football. Young game present and no 19 to me winning. Tinka. But Salah is the worst person to review Liverpool's season and then point it to one thing and forget about his form. He's the worst person to do that.
He probably cram our review Liverpool season.
He doesn't
no crash Salah
only expertise.
This season on one casa.
No. If you are doing a diagnosis of Liverpool this season, Salah is not the right person to do it because he is a contributory factor. Aside Arne Slot in the inefficiencies, the poor form of Salah is a major contributory factor to Liverpool. Last season, how many goals or how many assists in the Premier League alone?
And
the numbers have dropped considerably. And are not just attributable to coaching. So I understand when Liverpool want to take their time and they make a decision. And let's understand them say, clubs ni ina anyepe. Sani and Saturn ina anyepe. How Chelsea operates, how Arsenal will operate, how Real Madrid will operate, it is different from Liverpool. And that is that distinct feature. And more Liverpool and the club that they are. Let them move like a snail. And when the time is right,
they'll get to
their destination.
Mike, me that say, whoa. I'm on an idea, na I'm say, more the idea, I'm say, divided opinion. And no, and I'm say a day about a comment section. As I'm said, then more can I was a fancy. One of the best signings made as well is Senna Lamans. He was scouted by Tony Cotton. I know United for no names or more. I say, Juma pa, my boy, Juma carry them on one also to us more Jumano. Fancy. Mike is saying the right thing, even Senna Lamans is also doing good. And no so no we season all about untiane. On your mind player. Yeah, building fletch. Carry some. Now who's an carry myself building fletch.
Onana nkasa. Senya misro woni mu. Na oferi adia. Also no read this situation there one man you know. No toilet come and penny for so no agiatum. Omonton no nko. Okoyefa.
Kapo ko dey.
Now,
Onana no minus.
I mean, my shout out to be JT ne boys no Sunyani Zongo.
Oh,
almost show.
Sunyani.
Yeah, Sunyani Zongo. JT and the boys no more share show.
Oh, okay. Sunyani Zongo more parliament.
Exactly. Teacher Sunyani Zongo boys ni na nyako.
Sunyani Zongo for JT. I don't know guys ne da munyina masasa brebia. Mo amuntini e wo ba bi ti onyamo de azanga. I'm saying Kenya cry. And I can't put the American because no. Also service penalty.
Oh yeah. So Osaba and the only baby I can say or coin. Timo Oboy, Wabolo, we say Hendrik born in no come. And he is over. Massa, only baby I go. But then go and take more Marco Fanaba. Champions League wa ko final nyina da.
Well, see how call Onana Rea. I'm say I'll call Trabzonspor loan. And it's a year of I'm say end of loan 30th of June. Here they are by June the night was return. Ba ban the woman and my why.
See, omo de no kwai.
And they goalkeeper pass free actually. Final United phone dwane.
Oba pass am abedwa.
Yeah, great.
Okay, Emrana, yenim komo yento asena yemfa enkomo kakra Emrana yenim komo ni nyina no Ghana Premier League enkomo na for the local stories are trendy on some and they started the yenim komo from Ethiopia na yemon komo kakrenra yene abranti friend is Richmond ayi ebon komo Ethiopia club from Enda Salasi or anosi nakai na dwedi ne zero guzua Ochepa weekend any on the Daladum Ethiopian coffee. Omo Buani El Homa Nuyama Koye. Na Ibusane say na Nuyama and so ACTA Ghana Premier League or boy o compared to Ethiopia Awakoya. Nuyama Ekoye Emana Yakaso on compare Ghanaian League to the Ethiopian League na saying ACTA. You will see Richmond Ayi and Komakakra. What day am I Enra?
You're Ghana. Currency cities na hands from also currency different. You know, so the compare different account. But I say if you days here, and now we are in a contract already. Obesan, everyone say you go has we bit match 10,000, we bit match 5,000, we bit match 4,000. What you are saying? So you know, we should have our contract now. Meeting negotiate never bomb. Then you agree to that. So make us see because the team in the financial status. What you are saying?
Sama abantene dia to jana ebusa ne say edu be a call up no more African countries ni bi ne dey free ya na yeyim afrimu European players na na ya na from saying ana ya na feeling no esitie eno so ɔde kakra etu dwa yintie nsɛm aretuma ede tu dwa.
I believe in time and season, what you say, and in life, you just have to prepare for your opportunity. So, obia any much nasem, what you say, intermediate, obia or the Sabeka, say obia call up, I'm so gonna say, it's about time and season. So when it's your time, you get a call up, so it may be a problem then.
No, nkomo efiore bantiris monai and it san komo we and ya benro boase na no shepa Ashanti Good 04 enra ye krano omo champion o zone 2 se omo and e ba be shem Ghana Premier League na Magana ye league ne mu aye de na MC Elema oboase municipal e first love appear canning or no in some kakra me first and so ekasai say see obeka che Anglo Good for no and in penny form of was a munyina mumra na Timmy move.
Wase tikura yimu ya ne Anglo Gold Ashanti ne wokura yimu enimo nyama ya ji ye yanka obose bo obose dia Anglo Gold Ashanti enso eka ho bi yesre wom ache yakọ wom na so apapa ache is long overdue se amna na so eye omumra me tight biti no me buatim de bibie no as God omuntira yi Anglo Gold omuntimi ye power match omo ba no na ankran so de omo de beka ho ma bebre na ye ba be ye anu nti no omu nyina ma meboa ye na oboase as good and fun ntima pemfa
o kan grow god asem no mo amatwa
oboase fo no omani agye pa na ye to aso e wo DBB fo so omu na izi omaba Premier League na honorable the bankroller honorable Nana Alexander Abebio Alexander our committee no kama e de ama DBB mine traditional council say team ni ezi about Premier League no timpani for and for my home de omunyansa ne bibia ntachiri said the league no ombeba na for makam na bibia kama yebeti honorable Alexander Abebio komo kakao de tuja.
And this season here, your team no and your team are any of the highest points. Sa Ocean team they say goes to the power Ghana the United. Sa Ocean team young to me answer the power the United. Sa Ocean goalkeeper open the home body power enter go answer the United. Then you can't to understand. Ever since I ever play off Ghana, team there play a more hat trick than the Baby United. Yes, I can.
To join TDB before no and come on any no na game kese ba akoko so e ba so de won come na mom ya de to me say my enko eduana Silva Ristica etnefi enya 3-1 victory over Young Apostles. Now coach as a very strong response and our boys no edema ofie ye betie kakra Silva Ristica edited after 3-1 against Young Apostles.
League. I am very happy about some new player who not can play more game from this league he played today, and he tried the best from win the game. The team he controlled the game from the first minute to 90 minutes. He have the possession. In first half, he have more opportunity to the score, but the same what he have before. Very easy, the mistake 1 against 1 from the goalkeeper. This is our player. Second half again, the player go inside and control the game and he win the game.
This can come to General Abraham Kessie. Now no shipa and radie Godwin Amethafi go be or bed die or Abram Kesseno. Now no shipa no mobile vision for bag him no. Now I ran here friend say Farouk send me catch on panono and a be go or no a player or my loan no then call a vision a can say vision or nation player and was a be show ma or come to a minute was serious yesterday.
Munyaika say because Premier League no say player alone in the player the amount the shame say untimi monti our mother club
and
but so my player no kwana man no kwanso untimi boti no showa we your boy no crash go na why you kono so nya no one man sha uzan ko betinya from bas na
is he on odidimpo is he
munya penalty no ye ne dey
o ko bom ye chi no 10 year no anu aka no and no anu aka yenti assistant coach Asari Wilson.
Congrats, you came here in a very daunting game. A lot was at stake. The two teams were battling for survival in the Ghana Premier League. And at the end of the day, your team exhibited smart football. That's how I choose to call it. And then you ended up with 3 maximum points. Let me take your initial reactions to this game.
Thank you very much for the congratulations. And I think it doesn't go to me alone. It goes to the entire team, management, technical team, and the playing body, especially the playing body. As we came in with a plan, and then I think the boys executed it to perfection.
No, Mami match day 33 after match day 33 table no. Now you didn't come on here. We said the new man and Swiss City na. Said they can't any Kotoko asem no Kotoko game no the August no first goal. I will be super goal against Krobia Kumasi Asante Koroko league table no say. And it's here, Media Medica J62, Gold Stars 57, Heart of Oak 51, 50 call Eddie Mediana, Samates, and so 50, and I feel Dreams at also 49, Kotoko, 49 points. My go no, na yenim komo, August Noka, Emma Kotoko 4, a super go, it will be chim na no day pa na Kotoko 4 no, MZ and Radio Mukushi pa Jekano, Mako, Miansa, nice, and Yama. Entimi ankoyi eno ede de nkomo ede bana Hamza Oben no ma den of course wa ulusu game we coach Hamza ede nchiremu by say wa chiremu pa de ankoyi ema Kotoko ede 3 no Hamza ekasa yenti coach kakra or the 2 after the game.
It wasn't a good performance from my boys, especially our defensive line. There was a bit of poor body orientation there. We were not focusing on the ball. The idea was watching the ball alone without watching the player coming from behind. And in football, the players who are running from behind, they are the threats. They were positioning their body towards the play whilst they forgot the player running from behind. That made us to consider 2 goals. And it's something that we need to work out and train.
And Kowari Media for his league champion, Coach Ibrahim Tanko. Yes, Ibrahim Tanko Akasa, or there will be a say. After this season, no sen will see who on in our kakra area found na Yamo Mabaso. Kayo, of course, Kakalika champions. Coach.
With our pre-season in Abidjan, and I must say, and the boys comport themselves very well. I mean, we took a lot of experience from Abidjan, and then when we came here, we have this Century Cup, which helped us a lot as well because we are not in the top 4. So.
Come on, fancy and I from Brain on my Twasso. Kotoko, fancy. Supporters, and they say the last game no bono. Many were who you pa na omo catch the players and they say omo many naho. Now omo bombe feel money a match in ye pa because it's a very serious game. The mass supporters almost say the last game of the season they need to win. And they coach omo catch it ane. So omo last game next day. So we share them as supporters no. To so much feel many shame. Na players no wa be boku kwasa wo mo mbe say o boku kwasa bi no any last Kotoko na obo no.
Ade
supporters so many but they need to win the game. Oh, of course almost
because what you like I said they need to win the game.
Almost say they
I'm also telling the fans that they need to show up.
And to remember say no man
what put pressure no put pressure no game na dem boys no game already no dem boys no
supporters say game we have for almost say for Christ when we get 3 points.
I am for
almost say omo be fe wo mani na dey wan you say me call me
and I'm say match no so match no more thing e don't mean tell you say mate bibi na o ton kra dey man radio for mo can we couple we okodidi akoda but the players they need you the fans
anti fans ne beba
Oma dia be tru pa. Oma
fans any brepa any brepa supporters.
All blacks to be shown because all blacks from born efe.
But almost we share baby almost does see and dia. Almost check what ko nyi. Almost baby almost that. Oh but almost say but we dey also advantage.
Koro was na o say na no munya bi share.
Oh yes.
Enkwala no ko share.
It was almost share nka ho. We say nkra no de be mo fa mo share.
I don't match we nko na supporters na this.
Almost o mani wo ho pa. Dem ne dey. So fancy easy.
They need to show up.
Last hour is almost 3 points.
Last show up there. What's in the stadium now show up food yeah. Match no. Nothing.
I don't know. Very mediocre. Okay. Whoa.
Yenshem. Fans no mra. Oma madia send a message in the because your mother what you see in the room now the tone crack now the pressure my players
the plans they've done
all right it rules so I know catch for now they will be mama mean to know it rules so as well yeah it's fans in the last game of the season you can't sit home and say and a player saying at to say they what ma camera can't feed you everything. Media had percent this year, more days to go. It may no, Obiaba be my Masaba later.
Obiaba be a Masaba later. They said, oh, Patrina, equity.
Yeah, and the story is Dawson. Mamma mock media team Nabaso. Media my idea pa.
Because me I say along somewhere season, what I say. I will say Ibrahim Tankoji League.
Oh,
the guy said, "Oh, kind tea, Sasa Obo, Mama, so and Fata."
And Nema Obiba can some far. Run to me, Coach Tanko Hua, a yes, and bear 5 for number 1, Onji Trophy Mienche. Number 2, Onji Trophy Mienche. Number 3, Onji Trophy Mienche. Number 4, Onji Trophy Mienche. Number 5, because he's been at the national team level with Cameroon. They've won as an assistant coach. What else? Yo. And Rapana on board match the point of share me Ghana Premier League medal. Me share them say God, you are the greatest. No money and just say me cry medal maybe. And yet trophy kitwa. If and penny for me, a man you must see league yes sweet ya. Yo, you may enjoy best of football because we still have talent, regardless of number 1 or 2. We feel say Emma League, and drew the Egyptian where players, Asian, say Obaka see a kind of Coach Ibrahim Tanko Babia Ubiano, congratulations once again. You've worked. He's really worked. How he even rejuvenated Mubarak Kotoko, former centre back in Ukraine, a massive. One of the departments we hear sabi maturity power at the highest level a central defense. Sa 4 and 5 for Wontumi fan krami no more money ye da. Ko krami no so Wontumi fan more. You always need a balance. Jacob and Mubarak, this season we will be speaking to one of the best partnerships. What you give me more. Jacob, left centre back for Mediama, and Mubarak, right centre back for Mediama. Now, money no Ubenya Fuzi Taylor, Ubenya Manuel Mante, Ubenya Salim Adams, a couple of midfielders, Ubenya Prince Owusu, and Rababe Shego give them, Mediama a quality team. Team we order to talk the G League. And the coach do 10 1 a but that team full grown men because he don't sumo squad in America. Rashid Notemo, Eric Kwakwamo Bachino, they had real quality in that squad. And I made the channel was a budget title. Now we're the title imagine it was a lot of things from Gold Stars so. And officially my main San Francisco, I am done with Gold Stars officially. My 5-year contract, now me even before season, Ebabe ending. Yes, Eco Africa bar. I was also waiting patiently. Say, but be a technical team no be fano. Me as a video analyst, me kind of credit at you. Your boy will say my bro.
Wontumi.
My bro for people to accept say me a video analyst no. A man for me no. It hasn't been documented. I mean, come it is part of my strength. But yeah, me come on here for as good. Me can dwarfs. Oh, they me comedy man. But a Jojo my face, I don't even talk about it because a man for say video analyst now when I started this. Then what do you have on board and all of that?
Game is winning.
There have been times I come match. But so BR for a coming corner SMF team manager said, "Oh, here one confirmation as on my phobia." Now my laptop on BB in bass in a corner. Players in a team know how you be treat you when your confidence will move. So most are only regard your team one. A better could not play and chunk no, so in place will be true fast no. So me I follow this and I've seen say Casa Media Maya Juma, or Maya Juma. Now na me kan ba be see Go Stars no so last season ekoye say new coach bad ya new coach metime na ya adwuma after say coach from Pomanso ekono so nana man kwa benya adwuma no na chesa ba bet say medi mu anisa but Go Stars ni bibia ni for ama coach man kwa anya adwuma no led by CEO Kwesiedu for whatever they saw they said say it's a buniba. And coach Amankwa, one of the calmest coaches among who system or ye dean or walk your way. Mason, they had told me says a coach in the banner or the mechanic want to say you're part of the technical team then I have the chance to stay.
Brunino.
No, and next coach will be and so Meso you have some opinion on who has to come in no me boy coach Amankwa because he had already worked with Coach Michael Osei. After coach from Pomanson say, "Naman kwa buy no. Look, compared to Media Makwa Africa buy, compared to Smartest Kwa Africa buy, compared to Swatra Kwa Africa buy, let's Go Stars say yeah,
resource.
Yeah, you can check the stats for all those clubs. Not Go Stars fighting for a second, no. Being the first club or call Africa buy and performance also the second or yeah there. A drain of 4 million upper club or Doom Nija a Go Stars will be any. Open Nipa club or Doom. Heart of Lions, any coach Bashir for the jar, a Go Stars will be a free one. You can check. After we and 2 clubs and I pick up game. This is in 4 clubs and I'm fighting for title. No, Kotokon Kahon, Hassan Kahon. It has been a Diana, Heart of Lions, and a 2 na the baby, Media on a Go Stars. And I'm saying, say, Go Stars, true coach Mike, Nana Mankwa, and a stoppo, Diana, Dance Park and I'll stop Heart of Lions or more winning no. And those 2 teams never came back. But for whatever reason, Coach Amanko also managed Bruni. In my opinion, Kobefa
legal.
Yeah, I'm telling you this. Because number 4 engineering and before you realize what show we.
Okay. When you buy also no.
Landing no. Before you realize, na you do House of Folk or share no one, and over 10 or share the second go 2 and has better be 2. Being the first coach of Koshe All Blacks in over 20 something years. I won't check it. This is on Koshe All Blacks first. He was performing. Nobody, I'm repeating this, can convince me say Coach Amanko not perform. But decision the enemy employing for her. See you no making a decision. To Coach Amanko and I'm so. I've been here for 5 years now. We try coin koba sa, we try coin koba.
Wontumi.
It was enough. Me so me didn't cheat. None time na so dia. So me officially I'm done with Go Stars. I'm waiting patiently on my next move. But now me try say many announcement we manning disrupt season.
We
season perfectly because that's what I've been taught. Our game will say. No. Me person me general national TV so there be any for say. Me my yet all the mining towns. Takwa. Obuase and
Hey, see how she's smiling in her sleep. What's going on in her dreams? Nasco. Who be that guy?
Nasco be guy. He be the AC.
This place chill like fridge.
True. That's the Nasco power.
Buddy, we could enjoy him small.
Nasco air conditions brings comfort to your room. Nasco ACs bring home coolness.
Yes, you are Brankese. At first hand.
Ano pankapo is no matter Joe. Frimpong man so rough on the ties.
Yes, at first hand, me pese me tea.
I saw now you post much.
I don't want to talk much. I want to hear. What's my baby now? I want to hear.
Onkasana. Oh, Sunday, Baba. Oh, don't worry. Sunday will be here. Don't worry. I will do with you.
Oh.
Into where performance okay.
No.
But Yambatu just said we don't know yet. Omo ties, you know. So that is it. News say.
Oh man, yeah, the boys see. Say last week, you know. Papa more coin no. Okay.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yeah. Movie out
now.
Charlie, yeah, fancy trouble bossy. The whole
concept. Yeah, fancy.
Myself will be other places.
Yeah.
Phone in to go.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fancy.
Me ties where to especially Pakistan cement so not tiles so etimijo. So let us not conclude yet. But reportedly, some unknown fans. Omojidi say omo agitated Nations FC fans now. Omo say omo ye way no. Sanity. So that is what happened. But you see, Enra game na Nkasano. Before it started, you could feel the tension. Now who atmosphere now say how you tensed pressure room. Omo bo frigate. Yep, frigate. Nti amanjiska. Omo bie say e domne mbehye homa na omo mwa na nkunimdie entimi mramfama Nations FC. But I think the tensed atmosphere in your effect to players in so. Wow. So I hear comment from Mikacha Evan say about 10 minutes, non-nations FC share vision will carry the day because they will grow stronger by the minute. And then the more they grow stronger, the more the pressure for fraud to Nations FC players in so. So check it, go now, vision share. It just came from exactly. Oberfreno, Yambobo Amakipa, he had enough space, enough time to control, pick a pass because no options. And now said Bobo need to throw a second option, and now Bobo need to baby. His clearance was feeble, but then again, these things happen when players are panicking, and fear of making mistakes actually can lead to mistakes. And then the Diomunya, and the recovery and everything. So yeah, I don't want to talk much about what transpired on the pitch, but the length and breadth of it, and they say Nations FC created too many chances to give them at least a point in this game. Worst of your penalty, no munya, and the penalty is a correct call. A correct call. But the execution, the overall penalty, no. The option and everything, it leaves much to be but from Paul Mansu case now by so let's do some way about it. Or you two changes. Or yes, or ye Brandon and Chisap on a frame. And that was the change that triggered fans in some Monkosreno. With the video na Sunday Shadrach so behua. Supporters visibly. Obu roko chino. Bako crowd no kita. PVC pipes maybe. Plastic ones. For the rat tent name they are called woko chino. Hey. Yes. Oh, video no bet me that so. Any. So mu dinner tell mu run who. And I wake up a pipe and that's all they call woko chino. So the police.
Because maybe you want
exactly. And then I am a police for Nabaso. I think oftentimes we berate them. Yeah, Lambasti almost say, almost try my BBC answer. Police were no with a camera no.
They were very proactive.
Exactly. What's about Kusujina? Almost strategically. So when they saw say fans in the corner, no, make it fast, boy.
Yeah.
And they stopped. Different part man so be no my bad, no my 12 no. Okojina left also a normal to us. There were even fans that were wearing branded Nations FC jersey, customized number 40 branded. Branded in Chisapon and the number. It was a police footage in the house. And to where ever pong game, you know, now police will catch a performance will say, or just send you seen it here now. Your pong match now, no memon quiet post match. Only Omochi, no more fan see. This was before the game ended. That's why I'm commending the police. And yes, sir, come here, so Jina how kasa. No more to turn your man about TV. So it was a smart move by the police personnel. And ran almost a year. To Riena and Safo no barricade na. They walked him off the pitch. No more but the supporters were still gathered. It was the foyer of the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex. Mujnage now the kanasem. The spiritual reason, the tactical reason, and then the other reasons. Mamem combine and I mean almost say. Your elements be or more Nations FC management anymore. Last season, ni eje omo kwan. And kwan omo fa so kwan omo de amemene mfe nti ya odie bi wo. Okay. Me patch on member position, please. Member di mesrel
off edge, so don't worry. Go on.
Where your keeper no say ball ni no. No,
almost selected taker and penalty.
Apparently, almost say he's the best after Razak Simpson.
Just Ronald Koeman.
But again, no one say penalty. Maybe you say penalty. And one Razak Simpson say penalty.
Okay.
Against House of Folk.
For the spiritual reasons.
Now, almost say some elements no more free team no. And your management they are leaking vital information about club nany or more operations at the opponent. And no be no more house for be at the best show. Baby omo one assassin ora. Insio so da insio no so was home. And the home won't see him any a year and home at assassin so no. Yes, so omobo and good team no and a quite omo faso your money oma. Sadia, ye won patadia was so omoye. Nana no muntu ho among. And then you were two bi and then I ask ebeye or mother share nations back. No man and a vision for neighbor no. They got in touch. I'm a house for now more briefing. It is sad and I was a way most ye bibi edisia no. Na supporters now quiet your mobile and they even went to foil attempts of vision say Nyankomuko invoking Siona spirits no nanka bo no more winning. Boy no share born. Well, Nations FC player.
Yes.
Exactly. Farouk. Until Omokoye support and tries an onya accident with Pra or Bar Stadium.
Oh.
Yeah, or the moto. Okonya accident. Or cost stop vision phone. Choboya in consultations near there. After pacification, they also needed to do their own way to ensure somebody winning game. Easy made them a far time to me. Into Omoya instruction by directive by and say. Omo here one local boy obi a assassin him no the ensure him so friends the way there meba menana exactly no omo share team him no local boy o me dance so coach na management say why any among ho the indiscipline nti omo twena so team no nka ho bi no omo say the only way they will win is to include the local boy in the team so bobo ni bi kro mo mfa na bench. I'm say that
there's a match day squad.
Exactly. So one
necessarily
Debbie gets part of the squad on the bench. And so one of the coach is a one or a storm on a sweaty. Two. Wow, to an amount spiritually, and yet to an amount na buanembre musua usiano. And no mobile phone ebinono. Two, almost say selections or players or introduce the omobano. Omon coach no omon nyadwin. And here the technical reasons. They feel the coach is not making the right selections and ball no mumpe. Into issues need a dose, but a tough abomin na media no. So Enra was a nice but you can understand fast to an extent. If I was Frimpong Manson, I would resign. Say a krona wukomuno. Say munjua. Yam kotasa say. Why not better assassin? Why to me? Okodru krom no hinne ya twin form. Exactly the point. The environment will never allow him to succeed. Edientia. Oh, your coach, all the tactics na ye juma, but tactics is only one part of the game. Football no me the tactical part, the management, and the spiritual part. Spiritually, and whatever support will be here, he won't get it.
So
it over being saying Pep Guardiola.
So nations will survive here. It's not the last one of games in the show.
Oh, they did permutation in it. My man, the brief.
Nations
were a better head-to-head record.
Okay.
Against Sweden All Blacks.
Okay.
Now it looks like the two. Likely candidates. Although say young apostles no only on the team the demo, but this permutation will be centered around the two teams. All Blacks need to win. And exactly, and expect say nations no, and they will be so All Blacks winning against Kotoko Kim.
Okay,
because nations no, what they need to do is to beat Karela or avoid defeat against Karela.
All Blacks.
Simple. So when you draw Krana, when you draw na All Blacks and Kotoko nations are Kim.
Okay,
so that is a permutation.
Okay, well. You knew this week in Ghana Premier League anymore. You're more media for about so one of clubs no more far or more media team any
team in the league.
Yeah, but make of the
media team. Yeah, but 33. Na won the omoye. Ebonoa and a 5 more. It's your toy. And
Ebonoa attraction there be a good nation will be almost one. I mean, I said do call. Maybe may be on more shop so team back when say oh you discuss this kaya Parker so yeah bonabaso easy now BBI fine okay.